Hi, this is a reflection on lesson 354 in A Course in Miracles, and it says, "We stand together, Christ and I, in peace and certainty of purpose, and in Him is His Creator, and He is in me." What? And then the whole paragraph of this lesson is just like it's interesting, and then it's like it feels. I have a lot of feelings about this lesson. I don't have any like logical reflection that I can put into words that makes those words make sense to another person's brain. To be stand together, Christ and I, in peace and certainty of purpose, and in Him is His Creator as He is in me. And I think about like so many things. So one of the end is like it keeps talking about how Christ is like His Father, Christ is like me. It almost feels like they're getting at something circular, moving through time, almost like a evolution, like lineage, generations, and how. But that's besides the point. That's just what it on the surface made me think of. And it said like something about the Creator within, and how it's almost like nesting dolls. There's so many like feelings about this. I gotta pay attention to time. Okay. And it made me think about how it made me kind of feel into this idea that we create ourselves, like we're constantly creating ourselves, and how that. Okay, what do I mean by that? First of all, it leads to this feeling of an inner strength and power in that we are our own creators. We're creating ourselves in every moment. And then you think, well, what does create mean? I mean, maybe it means renewal. Maybe it means to breathe life into. I think that's what create is, almost like you're bringing something new into experience that wasn't there before. Maybe it was a selection of parts, and now you're creating some whole out of parts. And it almost feels like that's maybe I don't know what they're really getting at, because it was like a bunch of word soup. And if you just blew it off, like sometimes I tend to do, as being like spiritual jargon, then I probably wouldn't think this deeply. But I do get something out of thinking about how I can feel more agency, more empowered to realize that in any moment I am the creator of my experience. And in creating my experience, I'm creating myself over and over and over every moment. I'm breathing new life into myself with my outlook. Like if I choose to focus on what ifs and possibilities and like, wow, that's interesting, and man, I want to learn more about that and see how that breaks me free of wherever I'm holding tight to ideas, out of fear. And I just feel like the continual renewal is like shedding old skin over and over again. Like when we just shed our skin all the time because new cells are coming at, like the way the epidermis works is like the cell makers are layers down, constantly like pushing new cells up to the surface, and they get kind of more hardened and more firm. And so like we're constantly, even at a biological level, like regenerating ourselves constantly. And I think about that in the spiritual way too, like to breathe new life into like my spirit, my moods, my outlook, because this whole book talks about how our inner experience creates our outer reality. They are mirrors of each other. And if I'm only seeing out there what I want to see, what all am I missing? So of course, me being like kind of greedy with like, ooh, I want to experience everything life has to offer. It's like I'm very greedy. Good or bad, I don't know yet. Then what am I filtering out through my limited perception? The way I keep myself limited is what I really mean, like unintentionally or intentionally. Sometimes when I'm just like, I can't deal. I can't deal. Shut it down. I'm not curious. I'm going to go hibernate, because sometimes we just got to shut it down. I get it, to feel maybe maybe that's how we feel renewed. I think sometimes from a physical exhaustion sense, sometimes I just have to shut it down, and then a new day dawns, and then I can, okay, let's, and sometimes it's a choice. Like I choose to focus on the mind expanding, heart expanding stuff, because I want to break free from like, what am I filtering out of my experience that I want to let in? I don't know, because I don't know what I don't know. So that whole, the creator being within us, as well, it's kind of said it like Christ is in us, the creator's in Christ, and are in him. I didn't, but what it led me to is like, we are our own creators. The creator is within us. We can have continual new breath of life in the way that we feel, in the way that we see things. And how do we do that? How are just some people predisposed to be that way and some people aren't? Man, I think a lot about this. Like when we, like depression, this might feel like la la land talk to people who are clinically depressed. I don't know. So I don't say it lightly. Like there could be barriers to having choice, to feeling that agency, until something is adjusted, maybe chemically, maybe in another way. Because now there's so much, oh man, there's so much coming out now about how depression isn't just chemical imbalance. That's old science. And like, what else in us is responsible for mood? There's a lot of hype right now about the gut health. And I say hype because you still have to look through, like, to sift through this, like the science, I guess, or the science reporting, because I never know the exact science, only what's reported, because I don't follow like the journals and what, the actual research papers. What a slog. So there's truth in everything. There's truth in, yeah, some people depression is based on chemicals. Some people depression is based on gut. Some people's depression is based on they just don't get any exercise. Some people's depression is based on they're not in nature enough. So I love when I hear people speak intelligently about how we're all so different. There's not one silver bullet. There's not one blanket statement. And so I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but like we each have maybe our own unique way, because part of me says, I don't know. All I know is I have a new trust in that we are, every single person, literally every single person on the earth, and who's ever lived and whoever will live, has their own, everybody's so unique with every little thing. There will never be a one size fits all for literally anything ever. And isn't that liberating? Doesn't that lead you to this place of, well, then I can create anything I want because I'm unique. I don't have to fit a mold. I can do it my way. And if that means I find my own way to breathe new life into myself so that I feel more alive, more connected, more whatever, you have your own goals too. And I think this book too has helped me break free of rigid thinking, and that even though I thought I was open-minded, man, it really illuminated ways in which I was still pretty rigid with expecting to see things a certain way, or that we all maybe fit in certain molds, and that there may be like so many molds. I thought, wow, I'm so open-minded because I realize we have a lot of molds. And it's like, no, there are no molds. And then I wonder, like, again, what have I been filtering out of my reality because I haven't believed in my own creatorness enough? Then what have I been filtering out? There might be another level that turns it back around and says, there are molds and they're like giant. I don't know. But I just love how there's so many things about being the creator. It just fuels me up for like anything's possible, because I think sometimes in my experience, what's held me back from taking the reins of my life, of being like, this is what I want, like thinking about what do I want to create into this world, because we are creators. We have thumbs, right? That's what sets us apart. Opposable thumbs, and to hold tools to create things. So what do I want to create? And to blast the reins off of like, well, it doesn't have to look like anything because we're all so unique and we're all going to have our own different opinions about whatever anyway, and opinions don't even matter. Then it just like sets everything free to be what it ends up being. Oh, man.